Hello, Heartland fans. Borden is back in Heartland, filling the ranch with joy and excitement once more. But his return isn't as simple as we'd hope. As Ty reunites with Amy, old bonds and lingering memories resurface, stirring emotions he never expected. After all the time apart, has the heart of Heartland truly changed? Join us as we dive into Ty's journey of love, loyalty, and self-discovery, exploring the challenges he faces to reclaim his place by Amy's side. Ty slowly begins to realize how much has shifted in the familiar surroundings he once knew. In his absence, Amy has developed close friendships with Caleb and Nathan, which leaves Ty feeling a pang of jealousy. While he understands that Amy cares deeply for him, seeing her grow close to both men is challenging for Ty. This isn't just about jealousy, it's a moment of reckoning, as he confronts the impact his absence has had on his family and friends. With Caleb and Nathan stepping into roles he once filled, Ty finds himself navigating a complex mix of emotions he wasn't prepared for. This episode digs profound into Ty's subtle conflict as he wrestles with new, disrupting sentiments. He has forever been areas of strength for a certain presence, ordinarily unshaken by the connections and collaborations around him. However, as he notices Caleb and Nathan's developing closeness with Amy, he encounters a feeling of disquiet he can only with significant effort excuse. It's more than straightforward envy. It's the obvious acknowledgement that things might, in all likelihood, always avoid how they were. As Ty grapples with these muddled sentiments, he starts to address where he genuinely fits in Amy's day-to-day existence, and whether he can reconnect with her in the manner he wants. His revisitation of Heartland was a hotly anticipated second for Amy and the whole family. Be that as it may, as the underlying delight of his homecoming blurs, Ty begins to feel the heaviness of all that he missed during his non-attendance. He's back, yet everything feels marginally unique. His place inside the family and in Amy's life has moved, and keeping in mind that he may not completely handle it yet, watching Amy with Caleb and Nathan just enhances his vulnerability. Ty starts to feel the heaviness of how Caleb and Nathan have become fundamental pieces of Amy's life, filling jobs he might have involved had he been available. Caleb, specifically, has consistently imparted a nearby and strong fellowship to Amy, one that Ty recently acknowledged without the slightest hesitation. Presently, in any case, Caleb's presence blends a tranquil uncertainty inside Ty about his own position in the existences of those he cherishes most. Nathan, however, a somewhat new expansion, has flawlessly coordinated into their lives. His predictable kinship with Amy is outside the realm of possibilities for Ty to ignore. Despite the fact that there's no plain danger, Ty can't shake the sensation of being an outcast, thoroughly searching in. The bond Amy imparts to both Caleb and Nathan is based on trust, time, and shared encounters components, time missed during his non-attendance. This mindfulness avoids him feeling with regard to step, as though he's been abandoned in a world that has continued on without him. It's a difficult reality for Ty to confront, and it begins to weigh on him in ways he hadn't anticipated. This growing discomfort doesn't quietly settle in. Instead, it chips away at his confidence. Ty has always felt secure in his relationship with Amy, trusting in the strength of their bond. But now, as he observes her interactions with Caleb and Nathan, he starts to question whether that bond is as strong as he once believed. It's not that he doubts Amy's feelings for him. Rather, it's the unsettling realization that he may no longer be the only one she leans on. Caleb's easygoing nature and Nathan's steadfast support serve as reminders of the moments Ty missed. Though these men have filled the void in different ways, Ty can't ignore the pain of knowing his absence created that gap in the first place. As Ty spends more time back at Heartland, he notices the strong connections Amy has with Caleb and Nathan. What strikes him the most is how effortlessly they fit into the routines of her daily life, They know her schedule, her habits, and even her unspoken thoughts, things Ty used to be attuned to. Each time he sees Caleb and Nathan imparting these little minutes to Amy, he feels an ache of something he's not exactly prepared to concede. It's an intricate inclination, both disrupting and unforeseen, making him question where he really remains with Amy, and whether he can undoubtedly take up where he left out. Ty's anxiety turns out to be most evident when he sees Amy and Caleb cooperating on the farm. Caleb has reliably been there for Amy during Ty's non-appearance, stepping in as a strong companion and accomplice. Watching their connections effortlessly powers Ty to perceive exactly the amount Caleb has been a piece of Amy's day-to-day existence. Caleb appears to comprehend her in manners Ty once did, and regardless of his endeavors to excuse these sentiments. They wait, blending uncertainty inside him. It isn't so much that Ty questions Amy's devotion. Rather, it's the certain reality that Caleb has consistently expected a strong job in her life that is hard for Ty to overlook. He thinks of himself as contemplating whether there are parts of Amy's life that Caleb sees better now, components he wasn't there for. Nathan, as well, has turned into a steady presence in Amy's life. Despite the fact that his job contrasts from Caleb's, the tranquil strength of their kinship is something Ty can't neglect. Nathan has demonstrated the fact that he is a solid companion, one who upholds Amy in manners Ty is as yet attempting to fathom. Ty perceives Nathan as a solid companion, somebody Amy has come to profoundly trust. He sees how Nathan appears to comprehend parts of Amy's life that Ty is new to minutes and recollections he wasn't there to share. This acknowledgement is awkward, and as he watches Amy share chuckling and simple discussions with Nathan, Ty feels an intense feeling of detachment, as though he's unexpectedly a gatecrasher in a daily existence he once knew so well. As time passes, Ty's perceptions aggregate, and he detects the developing distance among himself and Amy. The achievements and regular battles he missed are presently woven into the texture of Amy's past stories that Caleb and Nathan have seen and taken part in. This fills in as an excruciating sign of the time he lost, avoiding him feeling with regards to match up with her life. These quiet reflections raise questions in Ty's mind. Will he ever truly catch up? Will he regain the closeness he once shared with Amy? This notion weighs heavily on him, casting a shadow over the joy of being home. It's more than just jealousy. It stems from Ty's fear of losing the profound connection he has always cherished with Amy. As Ty continues to observe Amy's relationships with Caleb and Nathan, he begins to understand how deeply these friendships have become intertwined with her life. His history with Caleb goes beyond mere friendship. They have worked side by side for years, sharing countless stories on the ranch. Caleb has been a reliable partner for Amy during difficult days, someone who understands her in ways few others can. Their connection, built on trust and loyalty, used to give Ty a sense of security. But now, as he watches them work together with such familiarity, he feels an unspoken distance grow between them. Ty understands that Caleb has been there during minutes when he was unable to be, turning into the companion and accomplice Amy can depend on in manners that vibe unsettlingly natural. This mindfulness strengthens when Ty perceives how Caleb draws out a side of Amy he hasn't seen in quite a while. Caleb knows the rhythms and schedules of Amy's life and the manner in which they snicker together, completing each other's contemplations, just features the time they've spent together. Ty thinks of himself as contemplating whether, during his non-appearance, Caleb has stepped in as a companion as well as a significant emotionally supportive network for Amy. This acknowledgement is agonizing not on the grounds that he questions Amy's steadfastness, but since he perceives that another person filled the part he used to involve during the times she wanted help the most. At these times, Ty feels an ache of disappointment and a feeling of botched and open door, realizing he can't change the past and that Caleb's job in Amy's life is presently obviously strong. Then, at that point, there's Nathan, whose association with Amy is unique yet similarly critical. While Nathan might not have the very history with Amy that Caleb does, he has shown to be an immovable companion and comrade. Ty can see that Nathan has turned into a solid presence in her life. How Nathan might interpret Amy comes according to a new viewpoint, one that Ty doesn't know he has any longer. Watching them communicate, Ty sees the casual, accommodating nature of their companionship. While their bond might not have a similar commonality as her relationship with Caleb, it holds its own significance in Amy's life. As Ty notices their common snapshots of giggling and genuine discussions, he starts to understand that Nathan has made up for a shortcoming one he wasn't there to fill. Ty never expected to feel undermined by Amy's companionship with Nathan, yet he is right here, wrestling with a tranquil sensation of uprooting. He believes he has missed the critical minutes, yet in addition the little, apparently unimportant ones, times when Amy required somebody to rest on, somebody who could offer her solace and understanding. Nathan's kinship with Amy makes Ty very much in the know about all that he has missed as her accomplice as well as her companion. As he grapples with these feelings, he begins to wonder if he will ever regain the closeness they once shared. For Ty, Amy's connections with Caleb and Nathan symbolize everything that has changed. Each friendship represents a part of Amy's life that Ty was absent for, and he can't help but feel a profound sense of loss. As he continues to struggle with his emotions, the depth of his jealousy begins to surface. He realizes it's not just Caleb and Nathan he is grappling with. It's a reflection of all the time and moments he overlooked while being away. Ty has always prided himself on being a steady, confident partner for Amy. But now he feels vulnerable in a way he never expected. These feelings prompt him to question not only his place in Amy's life, but also his role within his family, and even at Heartland itself. This internal struggle transforms into a battle between. Ty has always defined his relationship with Amy through his deep sense of love and loyalty. He attempts to rationalize his emotions, convincing himself that Caleb and Nathan merely filled the gaps during his absence, that they are just friends supporting Amy in ways he couldn't. Yet, lingering uncertainty casts a shadow over his thoughts, leading him to replay memories of their shared past and question whether those bonds can ever be fully restored. Ty starts to stress that his non-appearance has left an unfillable void, one that Caleb and Nathan presently possess. Interestingly, he feels his place adjacent to Amy may not be all around as secure as he once accepted. This thought distresses him, making it hard to zero in on anything more. The close-to-home load of these sentiments begins to influence Ty's regular day-to-day existence. He winds up being short with people around him, attempting to cover his disappointment. When patient and quiet, he currently feels overpowered by a blend of desire and lament feelings he's not familiar with standing up to. This envy isn't about doubt or question. It's established in his frailties, a trepidation that he might, in all likelihood, never really recover the position he once held in Amy's life. As these sentiments unfurl, they uncover a side of him he doesn't exactly have any idea, leaving him awkward with himself. Ty begins to stress that these uncertainties could hurt his relationship with Amy, as well as strain his bonds with Caleb and Nathan, individuals who have become necessary to the Heartland family. In calm minutes, his brain floats to all the what uncertainties. He ponders how various things might have been in the event that he wasn't away, assuming he had been there during the difficult times Amy confronted. These considerations weigh intensely on him, extending his feeling of disappointment. Ty's heart hurts with the acknowledgement that he can't fix the past or return and change what has occurred. Confronted with this reality, he contemplates whether he has the solidarity to reconstruct what he once had with Amy, or, on the other hand, assuming that he will always feel like a pariah in his own life. As Ty's internal conflict strengthens, he turns out to be progressively mindful that he really wants to stand up to his feelings before they consume him. The developing pressure among him, Caleb, and Nathan ultimately arrives at a limit. Ty has been keeping down his sentiments, attempting to remain quiet about his questions. Yet, as the days pass, it becomes more enthusiastically for him to conceal how he feels. He feels baffled and dismissed, unfit to shake the impression that his place in Amy's life isn't quite as secure as it once appeared. This tension bubbles over when Ty sees Caleb and Amy working intently together, sharing chuckling and commonality that he feels ought to have a place with him. At that time of serious disappointment, Ty chooses to defy Caleb. His words come out more extreme than he expected as his feelings at long last overflow. He blames Caleb for violating limits, of being excessively near Amy, scrutinizing Caleb's part in her life. Surprised, Caleb protects himself, making sense of that. He has just been there for Amy as a companion, filling the holes while Ty was away. Be that as it may, Ty's envy mists his judgment, making it challenging so that him might be able to see Caleb's goals as veritable. This confrontation leaves both men feeling hurt and misunderstood, with Caleb struggling to grasp why Ty would accuse him of something he would never do. The tension impacts not only Ty and Caleb's friendship, but also the overall atmosphere at Heartland. Sensing the hostility, Amy intervenes, trying to calm Ty and explain the significance of her friendship with Caleb. She reminds Ty of how Caleb has supported her through tough times, emphasizing the importance of trust and understanding in their relationships. As she explains how Caleb and Nathan have supported her through difficult moments, Ty finds himself feeling even more conflicted. Despite Caleb's good intentions, his absence left a void that others stepped in to fill. Ty's jealousy also begins to affect his relationship with Nathan. Although Nathan has never tried to come between Ty and Amy, Ty can't shake the feeling of being threatened by the quiet bond Nathan shares with her. As Ty's frustration builds, it culminates in an awkward and tense conversation with Nathan. Sensing the jealousy radiating from Ty, Nathan tries to reassure him, emphasizing that his friendship with Amy is purely platonic. But Ty's insecurities run deep, making it hard for him to fully trust Nathan's words. For Ty, this conflict isn't about Nathan himself. It's more about the role Nathan has taken in Amy's life, a role he wishes he could have filled. This internal struggle leaves Ty feeling lost and questioning his own worth. He realizes that his jealousy is starting to push people away, including Amy. The confrontations with Caleb and Nathan serve as a wake-up call, forcing Ty to confront the reality that his insecurities are damaging the very relationships he holds dear. Following these heated exchanges, Ty begins to understand the impact of his actions. The jealousy that once clouded his judgment now becomes clearer, revealing that his emotions stem from deeper insecurities rather than any wrongdoing on Caleb or Nathan's part. Ty recognizes that his absence created a gap in Amy's life, a gap that others naturally filled, not to replace him, but to support her. This realization brings with it a sense of humility and regret for how he has handled the situation. Ty comprehends that his desire wasn't about Caleb or Nathan by any means. It was about his battle to track down his place again inside his family and at Heartland. In a snapshot of self-reflection, that's what he recognizes if he needs to reconstruct his relationship with Amy and recapture the closeness they once shared. He should stand up to his uncertainties straightforwardly. Containing these sentiments has simply prompted false impressions and harmed, and he would rather not risk his connections any further. With a re-established feeling of direction, Ty chooses to have an open, sincere discussion with Amy. He plunks down with her and concedes his envy, making sense of the feelings of trepidation he has been wrestling with since his return. He drills down into his sensations of dislodging and how troublesome it has been for him to watch others fill the job he believed was only his. Thus, Amy tunes in with empathy, and as Ty shares his heart, another degree of trustworthiness and weakness arises between them. She consoles him that, While Caleb and Nathan have been strong companions, nobody might at any point supplant him in her life. For Amy, Ty is indispensable, and his return has brought her a feeling of completeness that no fellowship could duplicate. She communicates her appreciation for Caleb, and Nathan yet clarifies that her affection and obligation to Ty are steadfast. This discussion presents to Ty a feeling of harmony, permitting him to relinquish his envy and spotlight on reconstructing the remarkable association they have consistently shared. Through this snapshot of weakness, Ty understands that recovering his place in Amy's life doesn't mean eradicating the jobs others played during his non-appearance. All things considered, it's tied in with tracking down better approaches to develop together and tolerating that their relationship has advanced, possibly turning out to be significantly more grounded. This discussion denotes a defining moment for Ty and Amy as well as for their associations with Caleb and Nathan as they all explore this new powerful together. Furthermore, Ty carves out opportunity to apologize to Caleb and Nathan, perceiving that his envy had blurred his judgment. The two men acknowledge his statement of regret, understanding that his eruption originated from a position of instability instead of doubt. Yet again, with this goal, Ty ends up prepared to completely embrace his life at Heartland, as of now not troubled by the apprehension about being supplanted. All things considered, he feels thankful for the help that Caleb and Nathan have offered, permitting him to push ahead with a heart liberated from uncertainty. Eventually, Ty's excursion through desire and frailty turns into a demonstration of his development personally and as an accomplice to Amy. Through struggles, confrontations, and heartfelt conversations, he learns that love and trust are built on vulnerability and understanding. He realizes that being open about his emotions, even the difficult ones, is essential for the strength of his relationship with Amy. This chapter of Ty's life allows him to shed the burdens of the past, emerging with a deeper understanding of himself and the people who stood by Amy's side during his absence. As he moves ahead, Ty feels more thankful than ever for the friendships that Caleb and Nathan have provided, not just to Amy, but to him as well. He now understands that Heartland is more than just a place. It is a family of individuals who support one another through the ups and downs of life. The initial jealousy he felt transforms into respect and appreciation for the roles Caleb and Nathan played in helping to keep Amy strong during his absence. Rather than viewing them as threats, Ty sees them as valued friends who helped hold the family together when he couldn't be there. His journey serves as a reminder that relationships evolve and grow, and the most significant connections can withstand even the toughest challenges. As he and Amy look toward the future, they do so with a renewed commitment to one another, grounded in honesty and trust. Ty is no longer haunted by the time he missed, or the friendships that formed during his absence. Instead, he feels empowered by the love and support that surrounds him at Heartland. And there you have it. Heartland fans, Ty's journey has truly come full circle. From struggles with jealousy to embracing the bonds that keep his family strong, he's learned that family isn't just about being there. It's about showing up with an open heart, ready to grow together. As he stands beside Amy, their love renewed, Ty finds a deeper connection to Heartland than ever before. This chapter isn't just about reclaiming his place. It's about discovering that real love can withstand any challenge. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more Heartland stories that remind us of the strength of family, love, and home. Until next time,